Hey there, I'm Dave. Welcome to Grow Young, focusing on health and longevity. My aim is to continually find ways to grow younger and healthier. Today's episode is entitled, Why do we need an anti-aging plan? Good question, why bother? We're all going to grow old and die regardless, so what's the point? Well, for a start, we want to increase the number of healthy active years we can enjoy in our lifetime. With a healthy, younger, fitter body, we can do more and be more. So we want a better quality of life for longer. How many active years do you think the average person gets once they reach adulthood? Before they start to slow down, before their body stops them doing the things they used to enjoy? Being conservative perhaps, I think the average person only gets about 20 to 25 years. That's from 20 to 45. Once people reach their mid-40s, they're far less likely to be doing the fun things they used to do in their early 20s. At 45, they're far less likely to be mountain biking, surfing, skateboarding, dancing, skiing, running marathons, playing in sports teams, or touring the world. Most have started to slow down already. They now feel they haven't got the fitness, the balance or the energy to do those things they once enjoyed. Or they think they'll be laughed at by younger people for even trying some of those things. Now this isn't everyone by any means, but you can see how short our active years can really be. What if with a little self-discipline and planning we could extend that by a minimum 20 or more years? Would you be interested? So the world is still our oyster at 65. So at 65 we're still keeping up with the 25-year-olds, and yet we have a lot more wisdom and life experience as well. Another benefit of maintaining a healthier, younger body is we're far less likely to develop diseases. Diseases like cancer can be painful, debilitating, costly, and ultimately kill us. And what about the sex? Do you really want to have hardly any sex drive left by the time you're in your later years? Do you want trouble performing sexually? Wouldn't you like to extend your active sexual years? What it comes down to is personal motivation and getting leverage on ourselves. We need to have a burning desire to be and stay young, and then we can use that passion to lead us to success. I can't give you motivation, that's your job, but I can share my passion with you and hope that it's infectious. I'll try to give you hope and belief in yourself that you can do it, that no obstacle can stop you from moving forward and claiming your health, youthfulness and happiness. Perhaps you have a question at this point. Why should I listen to this guy? Does he really have anything to offer me? That's a good question, and ultimately you have to make up your own mind. Obviously I think I've learnt some practical stuff that can help you too, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this video blog. So what gives me confidence that I have something to offer you? Well, I've seen enough success in my own life to give me confidence. Here are some examples of some of the small victories I've had in my life, and I'll elaborate on these in future episodes.
I've stopped and reversed my balding process. I've changed my dry, lifeless hair into soft, healthy hair. I've turned many of my grey hairs back to their natural colour. I don't dye my hair. I've reduced and in some cases eliminated body scars. I've reversed my shrinking height, which occurs with ageing. I'm back to the same height I was at 20. I've recovered from melanoma, heart arrhythmias and panic attacks. I've improved the clearness and clarity of my irises. I can lift weights most 20-year-olds couldn't. Earlier this year I was benching 100 kg or 220 pounds. I've gone from being mildly overweight to having visible abs. I have a physique which looks better than most 20-year-olds unless they're really into the gym. I rarely get sick or get the flu, and colds hardly ever take hold. I haven't needed antibiotics in years. I've improved a lot of my freckly sun-damaged skin so it's softer and clearer. I've reversed the mental slowdown I started to experience with ageing. I've reduced my forehead wrinkles without using Botox or going to a plastic surgeon. I've stimulated collagen growth in my face so that it stays more youthful. When I go to bed, I usually fall asleep within seconds and sleep very soundly. I don't look my age, and some have mistaken me to be as young as 30.
Here's a quick story related to that last point. At the beginning of the year, some teens around 17 to 18 years old visited my daughter at our holiday cabin. When they left, I found out from my daughter that her new friends didn't initially know I was her dad. They assumed I was a friend of the family around 30 years old. Now that made my day. I'm actually 47 years old, but my biological age I would estimate is around 35. Obviously that isn't a scientific statement, it's just a gut feel, my intuition on where I am at in my ageing process. I would say in certain aspects of my ageing I'm older than 35, and in certain aspects I'm younger, so on average around 35. You know, over the years I've experimented a lot with anti-aging plans, with exercises, with vitamins, with different ideas to reverse or to slow down the ageing process. And I believe I've learnt a lot in that time, and I want to share that information with you and help you in your anti-aging plan. Perhaps the question you have on your mind at the moment is, when do I need to start this anti-aging plan? When I'm 40, 50, 60? What's a good time to start? Well, we start the downward decline from age 20. So in all seriousness, if I just turned 20 today and know what I know now, then I would be starting my anti-aging program today. You know, the sooner we start, the more areas and the greater degree we can slow down the aging process. Obviously, the older we get, the more time and energy we need to put into an anti-aging plan. If we've just turned 20, then we only need to do the basics. Get good sleep and exercise, eat well, and that's about it. For myself, I've worked out on average about an hour a day on my anti-aging or longevity. That includes everything. That's exercise, meditation, vitamins. Basically, I commit about an hour a day to keeping myself healthy and young, and I believe it's worth it.
In a future episode, we'll be discussing the benefits of inversion, or hanging upside down. Did you know inversion is important to a good longevity program? It preserves the spine, tones internal organs, and stimulates the lymph system. And quite obviously, it gets extra blood to the brain, to the scalp, and to the face. So we'll be discussing inversion in a future episode coming up. Stay tuned.
Okay, let's move on. We need to lay some very basic foundations for our health and longevity plan. And we're going to start with the blindingly obvious, so that we're all on board as we move forward.
Okay, here is the foundation of our longevity plan. It's very basic, but it's important. We need good sleep, exercise, love, and food. That spells self. We also need to have goals and peace in our lives, a lack of stress. So that spells self-GP. In New Zealand, a doctor is referred to as a GP, which stands for General Practitioner. So the foundation of our plan is self-GP. Or, another way to remember it, is peaceful, passionate self. Choose whichever is more memorable for you.
Why bother with an acronym? Well, it's just an easy way to focus ourselves on what we need to do, and to refocus ourselves if we get lazy or undisciplined. What are we committed to? We're committed to a peaceful, passionate self. We're committed to good sleep, exercise, love, good food, goals, and peace. Okay, we're going to break down these foundational steps, focusing on each one over the coming episodes. On the episode coming up, we'll be focusing on sleep, which is a vital foundation to our longevity plan. Until next time, grow young with me.